Hi, can you hear me now? Anybody there? I think I accidentally muted the mic while I was attaching it to the device. So let's hope I haven't done it again. I've just put some things on there for you to see on the screen while I have a little look. Hang on 2 seconds and let me see if it's come back on again. Yay! Oh, that's the was live one, so that's the one that's been and gone. Let's go back and see. I'll take myself out and back in again. Crafting with Dawn Bibby. Let's see if I can get in. Oh, let me have a stand up again and see if anybody's actually there. Well, Margaret Bird says it's there. Tracy Fielder, I can hear now. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Let me just see if I can find. Thank you. I've muted my mic for some reason. At the minute, I've got nothing on my phone to watch for the comments. Let me go back again. I'm worried it's just in my Angela Laidlaw one, which means I haven't got all the people in. So let me just go and see. Can anybody just confirm whether they can see me on Crafting with Dawn Bibby, please, in the messages? And then I'll be able to get started in case I've got to go back out again. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Kim. Hi, Joanne. So we can hear now, but I just need to know whether it's actually gone into group. Let's have a look. Doesn't say live on Crafting with Dawn Bibby. Is that because I was... Oh, gosh. Get rid of that one. Delete that one. Delete. Right, if I get rid of the old one, maybe the new one will come in. And then we can get going. Good job I went on a few minutes early, so hopefully it'll come back on again. Aha! There we go. Brilliant. So I can see everybody watching and we can get going. So I left you with my little coasters. I was just showing you, I was explaining when you couldn't hear me that I made them when the girls were just little toddlers, so probably 20-something years ago, when I went to a little porcelain painting group. And I just came across them today, so I thought they were pretty. And just let you see what they were. And they're a little set of coasters, so somebody will get those in the family at some point. And let me just check the chat. I've accessed via Crafting with Dawn Bibby. Brilliant, Joanne. Thank you very much. Hi, Jackie. Thank you. We're in Dawn Bibby. That's great. So everybody can join in. I just thought while we were waiting to see if anybody else was joining that, I started this at the end of the last live I did. So I thought we'd just fiddle around with this a little bit more and decorate it a bit more while we're just waiting for everybody to join in. Hope everybody's okay. It's Saturday the 16th of May and it's Craft and Chat with Angela. So last time, I don't think everybody will have seen this. Hi, Jane. I used a little bit of vellum and I stuck it to a tag that I had, which I had just put a bit of colour on with my Studio Light ink. And it was just to show you that lovely vellum. So on the back, you can see where I've stuck through with with the little brad. Hi, Elaine. Thank you for joining us. That's brilliant. So hopefully everybody's joining in now. It's Friday, it's 5 to 5, and it is Crackerjack, and I am a Crackerjack, so I call myself a Crackerjack when I do things wrong. So no doubt I'll be doing that. Hopefully I have done that the right way around. Yeah, so that was just to cover it. I just got a bit of craft card to cover the back with, to tidy up the mess on the back. There we go. Oh, I don't know whether I've let that stick actually with Dawn's glue. Let's give it a little hold for a minute. And I did go around a little bit around the edge with some more, with a little bit of gold. You can't see that very well, so I might do a little bit more of that. And this is from the Cocktail Couture collection, I think that I've got that from. I've cut out a few little bits that I thought we could stick in. This was a corner. I'll show you the bit of paper I had. So I had the Tequila Sunrise topper sheet. This was actually in this top corner, and I thought, oh, I'll use that. So Lovely. And these have only just arrived with me actually as the paper craft kit. So I'm going to have a little look through and work out some projects with it for you to do on another live. But I just thought, well, we'll do a little bit with this. I've cut it down already to size before the live so it wouldn't take so long. And I've stuck that little bit around the back. I just thought it would add a little bit of something to the corner. Tracy's just got in from work. Hope everybody's all right. It's been a bit of a funny day today, a bit of sunshine, a bit of cloud, a bit cold. So I haven't really known what to put on today for things to wear. Now then, I was going to put a little orange under the side there. Yeah, it's Saturday today. You are right. I hope I said Saturday. We were just joking about Friday 5 to 5 because that's what we used to sing. You used to say on Crackjack, didn't they? Because I was going through the date, so I think Jackie was just joking with me. I've just got that slightly wonky. There, just wanted that to peep out there. And I thought we could have another one peeping out as well on that side. But I'm going to stick these down first. Put this little flower on with a little bit of a foam pad, I think. Maybe go around the edge with a little bit of ink. And I'll just wait a few minutes and see if anybody else is going to join. I've only got a couple of projects. It's not going to be a long one tonight as it was last time. I think I got a bit carried away. Just taking the white off the edge of there. Hi Karen, thank you for joining us. Jane is sitting cutting her bee collection out. Oh, well, I've got a bit of the Highland cow today because that just arrived. So that's the one I've gone with some of the projects today. So we'll see what we make. I think that's what I've used. We'll find out in a minute when I turn me back and see what I have got. So I'm going to put that in the middle there with the space around so that I can then pop some of the leaves and things behind. So I want to stick that in there. There we go. Yes, I knew you were, Jackie. I got the joke. Oh, I haven't got my glue ready. There we go. Just going to put a little bit on there, a little bit on there, and then I'm going to stick it in behind. Yep, that should stick all right there. And then I've got another little one here. Now that's got a little bit of white on there, so I might have a bit of green could use. Don't know if this is a bit too pale a green. It might be. Oh yeah, that's too pale. Too pale. Have I got anything in there that's a bit darker? I feel like that is probably, oh, old paper is very, very dark, isn't it? Let's have a look at the colouring pencils, because I often find the colouring pencils are a good colour. Let's see, hopefully everybody can hear me now. I'm not causing havoc. They're metallic, so maybe they aren't too shiny. Let's have a look. I think Dawn had these pastel ones on the other day. Don't know whether anybody bought the last box. Just go and put a little bit of green in the background and see if that works. And if not, we'll just have to pretend and not worry about the colour. Yeah, that's not dark enough either. I don't seem to have a dark one in here today. So let's go again. Back again. Has anybody done anything nice today? Oh, there's a darker green. I have popped to the garden centre with my daughter. We had a little run out. So Isla's home again. She's been away with her gran, so that's when I picked her up the other night. When I was missing from the live on Thursday. And she's back for a long weekend, and then she goes back down to Nottingham, and she's got 5 more weeks of placement before she's completely finished. And then it'll be the graduation ceremony in off to Sheffield for the new job. That'll do. It's just taking the white off the edge a little bit using that green. Hopefully you can see that. Just worked a little bit there. I didn't really have a dark enough green in my inks to pop on it. There we go. So I'm going to pop this little one underneath as well. There we go. Oh, I got a Dawn Bibby box. I've had a quick look in, and that was where I found a few bits and pieces that I'm using. But I need to have a good look through as well, really. I haven't had a chance to have a good unpack, but yeah, that was a good use of your time today, Jackie, having a good look in there. Hi, Julie. Thank you for joining us. I'm just decorating a little tag that I started at the end of the last live. I just did a little, I might put a tiny bit of a bit on that corner. I put a little bit of vellum onto a tag just to show you how the vellum looked, because I thought the vellum looked lovely when it was printed on there. So I thought, well, while I was just before we're getting started properly, I shall do a little bit more with that. I might just snip into there. People are closing doors behind me, so they must be trying to make sure they're not being. I think Wesley's I've left all his dinner ready. It just needs a couple of little things doing. So I've left him to sort of finish off doing it. Just give this a little shape. I'll just use this tool. Yeah, I'm a bit, I keep losing my words today, and I think I'm just not going to do too long tonight. I feel like I'm still trying to catch up from last week's mammoth one. I forgot that I can't really do that long. So I've just snipped into that flower a little bit and then curled the leaves. I've just used my little pokey tool there, because I'm only doing a little bit rather than sticking it on the mat with the ball tool. I'll just try and get that little bit of sticky off that I've left on the back. Oh, gosh. So was I telling you where I've been today? I went to the garden centre, and we did have a little pop. It's got a nice coffee shop. So me and Isla had a little sneaky coffee. I'm just going to put that's kind of overlapping it a little bit and poke it under. So that looks nice. And I have a little bit of an orange. Thought we'd put that on. So these were all little embellishments on the bottom of here. So I'm going to have a really good play with that. These are almost ATC size, I think, that they've come out, but they might be inches. Yeah, 2.5, near enough 2.5, 3.5. I would say they're perfect for ATCs there, these ones. So that's a nice easy ATC for you. That'll be lovely to do as well. So I haven't really had a good look at it yet though, so I will have a good look, and then we'll have a go with it. Find a project to give you. Yeah, most garden centres are good for coffee shops, and we like a little wander. So we had a little bit of a look because it's been the other Gran's birthday, not my mum, but the my ex-husband's mother. So the other Gran. Let me just pop that there. It's been her birthday recently, so we went and got a couple of little presents for her. But then she was out, so we'll have to pop round and see her again tomorrow. She was gallivanting with a friend on a Saturday, going for coffee herself. So, oops, I'm going to poke that under there a little bit. A little bit of a cherry. Actually, probably should have put that one flat, shouldn't I? Because it's poking up a little bit there. Take that off. And Karen has unpacked her huge box from Dawn as well. Cows, bees, flowers, hanging baskets, so much card and adhesives. Oh, that's brilliant. So you're going to be very busy. I've had a few people putting some of their makes in the group, so that's been lovely to see. Please pop them all in if you get any more things made, everybody. Oh, got glue on that one. That's fine. Just pop that one in there. And then I think we'll pop another little orange segment in down that side. And that just finishes that little tag off a little bit. I've got loads of glue left in here. I think it's just because I've been using it today and I keep forgetting to put the lid on. So I end up with a little, yeah, just pop that one there. There we go. So I just thought maybe a little bit extra on that tag would help to finish it off a little bit. Now, the other thing I thought, I'm going to try, let's hope it doesn't like wreck it. I've got some contour gel in gold. This is a Stamperia one, so I don't know whether any of you will have it, because it came out with one of the collections. I can't remember which one, but I was just going to try and put a few little dots of that on, because I am rubbish at the splattering, as you know. I don't do splattering. Because I'm just not very good. And I'm evidently not very good at doing dots either, so never mind. We'll just put a few on and then it'll just give a little bit of a extra thing, hopefully. But yeah, they're rubbish dots as well, but never mind, you get the idea. A few little dots here, a few little dots there, that'll do. Right. That's it, and then I don't know whether I need anything else, but I could always go back with some stickles later. So there we go. I just added a few little bits to that, that little tag. So I've covered the back to make sure that you can't see the brad and the staples through, and we've added a little bit extra bits and pieces around just to make it look a bit nicer. So that's number one. Pop that up there and we'll just sit and look at that. There we go. So what have I missed? Julie's not had her box yet, hoping Monday. Oh, thank you, Karen. It's a lovely pretty collection actually. I love those pinks. So let's have a look. So what are we going to do for today's little projects? We've got a couple, and I've got a leftover one from another live that we didn't finish, so if I need to do anything else I will. Right, so I'll start with this one that I've kind of sort of started to prepare. So this is from the Cows collection. I'll just pop those here a minute and I'll show you what I've done so far. So I've picked a bit of card. It's a random, it's kind of a sandy gold that I found, and that's the one I went with because I thought it was a little bit like the colour of the hay bales. So it's not quite as blingy a gold. But I thought it was like a sandy gold that would go with that quite nicely. And I've cut out one of the large scenes from the Cows, because the Cows is not just cows, it's also farm things. So there's some other nice scenes that you can pick. So I picked this one. I've picked a little circle one that complements it on the same sheet. Let me see if I've got the actual sheet I used handy. I'll find it in a minute. I have got it somewhere, but I'll show you. But that was on the same sheet, the circle one. So I've cut that out, ready to do. And then in the borders, I've picked a border as well. So we're just going to get these cut out. To go as the next mat, I've picked a purple. So that's just a deep purple. I don't know where that's from, whether that's a Dawn one or not, but I'm sure she's got something like that. Most of my card seems to be from Dawn, so I don't know. But there, that's a nice dark purple colour. So I thought they would go nice together. So that's my colours today. I'm going to just give this, the big one, a little cut out. This is going to be huge, and I don't think I've got a card this size. So we may have to just make a topper, and then we can maybe, or maybe make a card. So I'm just going to go down there. That's it. I'm going quite close. I don't want a lot of border on it. I just wanted a little bit of a border, especially because it's so big. I'm not used to making big cards, but this lent itself to big, so that's why I've gone big. And we'll go for that and hope that I've cut that similarly to what's at the top. I might be able to do it. Probably gone a bit wonky there, but it's fine. Let's have a little look. I'm just going to go around the corner like that. I'll go around that corner and just cut it a little bit closer because I've gone quite close at the bottom by accident. Sorry, I've come off the screen. I'll just go a little bit closer along. I should probably have used my trimmer, but there you go. I just want it to be a little bit closer in and then a little bit round the corner there, and a little bit round that corner. I'm not going to cut that back anymore. Probably not quite right. There you go. So that's one. Let me just quickly cut this little gold one out as well. Down there. Hi Debbie, thanks for joining us. Are you back home from work? Are you at work? Have you got a day off? Sometimes you're watching in the car. There we go. So just made a little strip with that one. And then we'll quickly cut round this one as well. And then we'll go to the thing. So I wanted to do a little card with vellum today again. I'm enjoying the vellum, but this is going to be plain vellum. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to go around, but I'm going to not go around that bit. I'm going to kind of pretend that I've cut the circle there. Hopefully I'll be able to get really close on. I don't want to leave too much of a gap there. Oh gosh, that's it. So I'm just trying to go as close as I can with the gold on that, so it's not really obvious. I'll go back round, I'll cut as close as I can to that bit, and then I'll go back in with my scissors to do those. And then I'm going to do my little circle around the bottom, and then I'm going to go around that really close. And hopefully it'll explain itself in a minute what I'm trying to do. That's it. What I should have done is leave the purple flowers at the side loose, and then I would have just gone round like a little circle. But I forgot to do that, so I'm now going to have to cut really close in. Does anybody watch Eurovision? I don't. Is it on tonight? Is that what everybody's watching? Oh gosh. Right, let's go under there, see if I can get it cut out close as I can. There we go. I just didn't want the gold showing behind the flowers for whatever reason. It was just what I wanted. I'm just going to go close. I'm not going to faff too much because it's not very good for you watching me snipping, and really it's only for the sake of me being a faff. So I'm just going to snip those there, up and up, up and up. There we go. Pull them out. That'll do. And I'll just do the same at this side, and then we'll be ready to go. And I haven't actually had a go at this bit yet, the next bit yet. I've kind of just done it as holding it without gluing it. So hoping that it will work okay. I don't know why we keep entering. I really don't know, because they don't like us in all those other countries, so they don't vote for us. I don't think even when the music's not too bad. But having said that, we sometimes just don't take anything good, because when Sam Ryder went and he was good, we did just about win. I think we were second with that one, so maybe I'm being unfair. But yeah, we don't normally do very well, do we? We get 0 point all the time. But there we go. Never mind. Right. I don't know. I'm not that happy with what I'm doing here at the minute, so I'm going to stop. There you go. It's a bit wonky, but we're all right. I like a bit of wonky. Well, I don't like a bit of wonky, I just don't mind. Right, next bit, we'll do our mat for this one. And on an A4, I think it'll just go that way. Just about fit. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, that'll just about fit. Spot on, Angela. Thank you, Jackie. I think from where you are, it looks all right as well. You can't see quite as close as I can. So that's always a bonus as well. And I'm not going to give this much of a border either. But I haven't found my card I'm going to mount it on yet. So this may just be the topper. Because it's humongous. Oh God, I'm not doing really very well at straight lines today. I don't know what's going on with me. Let's stick this down again, and I'm not gutting my card, Tracy, sorry. Please forgive me. Is anybody coming behind me? Do you want something? Or is it just the puppy? Oh, it's just Albie's little feet I can hear. He's going to maybe come and sit next to his mum. If he doesn't make a racket and start shouting for going outside, he can stay. Right, I'm not doing very well. Let me just get this back because I've given myself such a tiny little gap with the purple. I honestly don't even think I've given myself enough room to have a border. There we go, just pretend there is a border there. Who's late? Hello. Hello, Angela. Sorry I'm late. Karen. Hi, Karen. You're not very late. I've just basically matted and layered one of these from the Highland Cow collection with a little bit of a sandy gold colour and a bit of purple. And I'm not doing a very good job at being... Oh, look at this. I'm just a bit off it tonight. So all my edges are going to be wonky. But not to worry. We won't worry about it. Hopefully you can't see it quite so well from where you are. I'm not going to worry about it. I think I am just feeling a bit wonky myself. So we'll have days like that, don't we? So the next bit hopefully is not going to just go crazy and wrong. Right, let's go. Let's pretend that's matted and layered successfully. Right, the next bit. I decided this card was going to be featuring vellum. And the idea, I've cut a bit of vellum out and I've rounded the corners off. And what I did, I'll get you a piece of normal vellum to show you what I did. I've got the prices there still for Dawn. For her, Dawn, for hers. There we go. So I've got a bit of vellum, if I can get it out of the packet. There we go. Now I've rounded I cut it down a bit because it wasn't quite the right size for this mat, for the picture. So I just trimmed it and rounded the corners. And my idea was that I wanted it to come back. So it was a little bit too big. If I do that to fold it back, we're not going to see enough of that. So I had to make it a bit shorter as well there. So you can see it was just a bit of trial and error. It's cut off about 1 inch there off the end. Can you see that? And I've cut a little slither off this side, and I've rounded the corners. So I've got this little bit of vellum here. We're going to try and stick it on in some form. My idea is I want this to come back and be a little fold and be stuck down. So we're going to stick this down somehow, she says. We'll work that out in a minute. But then I thought I wanted a bit more colour. I didn't just want the plain vellum. I couldn't find any of... I've got a brown and a blue in the Studio Light vellums. So could have had a colour if we'd wanted with the brown, but it didn't really go. And I didn't have a purpley one. So then I decided I would make my purple one. So I'll show you what I did with that. This one's cut down again to a slightly different size. I'll show you that in a minute. But let's put that to one side and I'll show you how I made this. So I wanted a different colour that I didn't have. So I've just got my little ink pad out. I've got a purple which came from the pink selection. Ooh, Karen's just home from the zoo. Ooh, that'd be a nice little day out. Hope you've had a lovely time. There we go. And caught the sun a little bit. Well, that's nice. Right, so I've got a little bit of that on there, and I'm just going to start inking my vellum up. So you can colour it quite nicely with your inks. And just keep doing that all over until you've got the amount of ink that you want on. There we go. I think the last time we nearly won was a couple of years ago with Sam Ryder, but I don't really remember what that was. I can't remember when we actually won one. Goodness knows. So there you go. You can see that's coloured the vellum for me. And hopefully that's a better colour to go with the colour now that we've got there. So then I've got this bit of vellum that's going to come here. I know that I want that to fall back there. I've got another little bit of vellum here, and I wanted that to wrap around it as well. So I've done the corner rounding, and then I've taken it back. That's what I want, a little bit of a layered effect. So I then put this where I wanted it, lined it up with the other one, and I cut it to size. So again, that would have started off like that size. So I've had to round the corners and cut it up, and then when I then lay it over this way, I should be able to then pull this one back over here and pull this one back over here and stick them down. And then that's going to be like a little reveal with the vellum, hopefully. That was the idea. If I wanted it a bit more showing, I could probably do that as well if I want a bit more of the tractor on. So we might do it a little bit there, and I can just cut down that side a bit more. So that was the idea. Does that look all right? That's what I wanted to do today. Before it goes on, I think I will actually take it back a little bit more, then you can see it. Then the idea then was also to use this one. So the bit that I've covered up is actually a gate. So I thought if we pulled that over, and then we had this over here to hold it in place. Just watch, I don't want that to spoil. So it's going to be a bit of a faff. I've given myself a faff to do for you tonight, but I'm hoping that it will work. And if that's too big, I'll have to quickly make another one. I was going to try and put that on there like that, just so that you had a little bit of a, it was just something different. It wasn't just the same. And then I also wanted to put the border here in that place. So before that goes on, I need the border to be in position there. So when I bring it back and I stick it down, hopefully that will work. And if this is a bit big, because I haven't actually worked this out beforehand, I'd done a bit of cutting of the vellum, but I hadn't actually worked out what I was going to do. Because I've pulled it along a bit further, let me just take it back to where I had it and see whether my picture will fit there. This is what I have to just work out for you guys. I don't want to make a mess of it. Right, I can do that. I can hold it down. Yeah, I'm going to have to maybe, if I do that, we can see this picture and you can see a little bit of that. Let me just hold it there while I let the video catch up, and I can see on the overhead whether I like it or not. Right, I'm just looking on the picture, and yeah, I think that's going to look all right, isn't it? I think we might get away with it. We'll have a go anyway. So, do you want me to reveal a bit more of that tractor, and then worry about whether I'll get that on or not? Just about get it on. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. So, because I'm going to stick down this little strip here, which is one of the borders, I can use that as where I'm going to put the the tape to stick it all down. So let me just get I can go somewhere in between there and there on that, can't I? And then again, I can put a bit of tape in between there and there. That's it. So let's get some tape out and do that. Hopefully this is going to work. This is my idea. There we go. So I'll put the tape on this one first, ready for the border. And then hopefully I can line up the one underneath as well. So let me put that one on top to then see where I want that. Can you all see? Because I've got the words in the way, haven't I? That there. And because this is all going to get covered up, I'm not worrying about what I'm using to stick down, because we won't see this tape because I'm using a border. So hopefully again that'll do. All right. Pop that there. And then I need that to be under there and that to be under there. And that to be there. So my next little bit of mark, I'm just using my white pen. I want to have that little bit of tape there. And that other little bit of tape is there. Hopefully I've done the, sorry, I've got my lid in my mouth. I want my lid in my mouth, sorry. Hopefully I've done that right. We shan't find out. Hi Vivian, thanks for joining us. Has everyone got a drink tonight? I'm trying a new drink from work. It's mango beer. Sounds very strange, but it might be nice. This is the nearest to what I've got for a drink. I've got my little tequila sunrise tag. But actually I have got a Diet Coke in the fridge. They all had takeaway last night. Well, all of them I'm saying. It's only Wes and Isla. But they had a takeaway last night and they sent a free can of Coke with it, and some, you know, with the free, what do you call them? Chinese things, crunchy things that you get. Prawn crackers. So we got some free prawn crackers and free Diet Coke. So I might have that later because I just like, I don't have it very often, but I do quite like a Diet Coke. Right, we're going to have a go at sticking now. I'm not very good at sticking today either. I did some sticking earlier on and I made a proper pig's ear of it. So I should have done the trick of leaving that red liner tape on halfway like we did the other day. Stick it back on there. A minute. Right, I'm going to take off the top and fold it over like that. I'm going to line this up to the bottom, and the top hopefully will then stick in the right place. Right, that's it, and then I can pull that tape out. The way I've been sticking things when I was having a little practice today, that's a good idea to do that. Have I missed anybody else? There we go, and then we'll try again with the next one, and this one's going to go on the top of here as well. So let's take this one halfway down, and I'll do the lining up at the bottom again. So I'm going to peel it off from one end. We did this last time, didn't we? And a lot of you do this already. Stick the tape to the side. So I've just taken half of it off. Get this one ready to line up. I'll line it up, and hopefully that will go there like that, and then I can pull this out, and hopefully that's going to be all right. And then we'll do the same again. I'm sticking to the red things. That's it. And then we'll do this one, which is the tag, the border. Put that there. And where has the border gone? There's the border. So that's one of the lovely borders. And I just put it on some of that sandy card. I didn't put the purple on, I just put the sandy on. So I think it was around about there. Just get myself in. I'm standing up again, everyone. Hi, Gillian. We're just on the first... Oh. Sorry, my knee's bad at the minute. I don't think I can stand up. Let me just hope, if it goes wonky, we'll just not worry about it. I can't get stood up today. I've got a bad knee at the minute. I did go to the doctor yesterday for it, and he was very good. I've been getting a lot of locking on it, and just really bad sudden pains, and then my leg goes underneath me because of the pain. So he's going to do it, see if he can get me an MRI sorted out, just in case I've got anything like bits and debris in my knee, or any little bit of meniscal tears or anything like that. What's happened? What have I missed? Jane Aldred. A spider fell down from the ceiling and I jumped out of my skin. I hate spiders. Oh, bless you. Me and Isla this morning, we found a bumblebee in the house. And of course, you don't want them, you know, we're nice to them. But we're both in, we're 90s, and we're trying to catch this bee in a cup. We took it out the front door, and just as we were doing that, somebody arrived with a delivery. So it was quite amusing. Right, I'm just going to stick on that bottom corner again a little bit of something there, because I need that to stay there, so I can then get my peeling back bit working. And hopefully, if I stick it under that purple bit, we're not going to see too much. I'll only do a little bit. Oops, sorry. So let me get my red liner tape. I got a whole load of red liner tape off Dawn. That was £9.99. There's a whole 3, 6 and a 9mm bundle, 12 reels. So I'm well stocked up on red liner tape. And what else did I show you that I've got a price for? If Dawn's got any white vellum left, she had 10 sheets of A5 £3.79, but she only had one left. She might have got some more back in. An A4, there were £5.99 for 10 sheets. So you might need to just message her and see if she's got any more in. I'm just going to do a tiny little bit there to hold this purple corner down. There. Are we having a drink because it's the Eurovision, or we're just having a drink because it's Saturday night? What's that? Is it just finished work Saturday night, let's have a drink? I shall probably just join you with a little Diet Coke. That will do. I was thinking I was going to make a bag for little drinks, or little gift boxes, or little gift bags for the little miniature bottles of, or, you know, them cans you can get from Aldi and places with your little cocktails in, or little miniature bottles. I can do those, or I can do a big one. And I started doing a little bit of a mock-up with some paper. So once I've actually fathomed it, trying to just work it out, I will do that for you. I thought that would be a nice thing to do. I'm going to put another bit under there as well, in that corner. Yeah, really good value, Karen. And I think with the glue at the minute, there's one of the size glues where there's an offer, and you get some pastel coloured. Ooh, what was the pastel thing? It was a pastel something, pastel coloured paste or paint or gel or something. Right, I'm going to put that there. I'm not going to worry too much, because anything where I'm going to have a mark, I can get my beads out and I can just put a little bead on anywhere. I think we'll be fine. And do a bit of decorating. So I'm going to put this one on there, and I think maybe I need a little bit on that side as well. So this is going to come back that way, and I'm just going to pop a tiniest bit under there. Maybe I just put a tiny blob of glue there. Who's just come in? Oh, hi Patsy, thanks for joining us. I'm just doing a little, I wanted to do something with vellum, and I thought I would do a little foldy back with the vellum to reveal the picture and decorate it up a little bit that way. You could always go down these sides with some of your little gold sticky, what they're called, can't remember, sticky things. And I'm just also telling you that today I'm not really quite on the ball. I'll try the glue and we'll just see whether that goes on nicely or whether I don't like it. I'll try it and then you know. That's the best thing. So hope you're all right, Patsy. Don't normally drink, but the beer is delicious. I'm being really busy. Yes, I think that sounds a good idea then, Debbie. And I think I might, yeah, peel-offs, those gold things, peel-offs. You could do that. Or I could have done a bigger strip of with this. Tell you what would have been nice is if that had been on a bit of maybe a glittery bit on that side as well. So that would have looked good. But I had the idea and I partly prepared it, but I hadn't actually done the whole thing yet. So we're just kind of winging this as we go. And you can add your own, no, I don't think that's actually taken with the glue very well. So I think I might put a tiny bit of, let's have a go and see if I do that and I'm sticking it down with that, I might get away with no glue there. No, I'm going to need a little bit, because if I don't, I think that's going to lift up. So let's pop a little bit of red liner underneath there as well, because it's just going to lift. And I would like it to sort of sit where I want it to sit, rather than coming up too far. There we go. So I want it kind of under there. Let me see if I can get it on the page. This is where I maybe could have done with doing it beforehand, but there we go. We'll go in there, fingers crossed that we'll get that right. And if we don't, you know not to do it that way next time when you do yours. There, I think we've got away with it. Just wanted that little bit to just steady it away down. And I can probably put another one under that bit if I wanted. But I wonder whether that's going to sit nicely or not. It's that white one that's coming up that's causing me the bother. So I'm going to stick this other bit in. I'm probably just putting a lot of pressure on it with having the purple one behind. So I'm just going to pop a little smidgen under there. Get in there. Burnish it down a little bit. Let me get that one because that's pokey. There we are. That's it. There, that's it. Right, we'll go with that. Right, now we can fold that back and hopefully that'll stay there without tearing and without bending too much. Let me just lift it up and just check it. Yeah. I don't want to put too much pressure on it so it doesn't just tear here, because I can see there's a little bit of pressure there on that corner and I'm worried about that coming on. So I'm just going to be very, very, very careful. That's it. Right, there we go. So we've done that. Is that looking all right? Let's stick these ones down then. And I'm going to just use this again, and then we'll work out what we're going to stick on top of it when we come to... I just thought this red line is probably going to be the safest bet because it's quite strong. So I'll pop a bit in that corner, burnish it down, and then it'll come off nicely. Let's take this over here where we want it. And pop it on there. Is that about right? There we go. Anyway, I'm hoping that you're just getting the idea. I just wanted to try and see if it would just make it look a little bit different with a bit of that. If this was like a little bit of a decorative, you know, like the ones that we've got these little butterflies and things on, that would be quite nice. If you've got a bit of vellum that's like floral, I think that would look lovely. So I only had the plain and I've coloured it because the colours I had for the floral just didn't really go. But I think that if that was actually a patterned vellum, that would look absolutely stunning then. So if you've got pattern vellum, I would say make this one, instead of just doing a colour, do it as a pattern. But as I've only got that, we shall go with it, what we've got. And we've made the colour ourselves with the ink pad. So So I just used that ink pad to colour the vellum up. And I'll stick another little bit in this corner and burnish it down again. There we go. Anybody got any requests? I think Debbie wanted me to show how to do the little book. So that's on my list of things. Might start that later, if depending on what the time is. Right, I want to get this round and there. So I've got that little bit of a shape going on. Does that look all right? I think that looks all right. Yeah, happy with that. And then I want to try and get my shape this bit on. So that's also going to hopefully push it down a little bit. So what I might do, because that's going to come on here, I think I will also be able to pop a bit of glue under there, which will catch that when it sticks down. Albie, what's all the crying for? Oh my gosh. Squeeze a bit in there. Do not cry. Have they locked you in here with me? And then I'm not paying you attention? Because that's going to go there. So I'm going to put a bit of glue there and just see if that holds that down as well. Freezing here in North Yorkshire too, Jackie. Yeah, it's been really cold, hasn't it? I'm a bit further over to the east of you, Gillian. But yeah, it is a bit chilly. I just want this to hold a little bit more. With a bit more glue. Get Dawn's glue underneath because I'm going to cover it over. Take that off actually because I've got it's popped up. Put that under there. There. Now I know where my that my thing's going to go on that. Oh, he's all right. He's rolling around on his blanket now. He might be quiet for her. That looks really pretty, Angela. So unusual as well. He does want attention, Tracy. Right. Thank you, Jackie. That's very kind. I just thought a little bit something different with the vellum. And I know a lot of you have got that lovely vellum from Dawn. I had some blue in the vellum, but it just wasn't quite the right colour either. So that didn't go in. And the brown. So I've obviously not got quite the right colours to go with it. But there might have been a purpley pink one. Or you might just have your own vellum at home. You can, you know, stamp on vellum as well if you wanted to put little stamps on it beforehand as well. But anyway, this was just my little thoughts about what we could do. And then I was going to pop that one there, which probably needs to be on some pads. But I'm going to just have a look at a different size as well. Let me find the... Put that lid on. It's not really heavy enough, is it? I'm going to get a glue pot and just stand it on there. No, it's not going to be heavy enough. Will be heavy enough. Stay on there. Right, stay there a minute, people. Let me have a little look. I've got the next project. I might have some more Highland cow things that we could use if we wanted to put a that's where I got the border from, and there's loads of little sentiments here as well. Right, he's wanting to go out. I'm going to have to get the kids to just look after Albie a minute for me and not lock him in here with me, because when he wants things I can't deal with him. Are you wanting to be out? Right, sorry, I'm coming back in a minute. Hang on, everybody. Guys are going to have to listen for him. He wants to go out and then he's going to end up barking. So can you listen if he barks and bring him back in, Wesley? Thank you. Right. Sorry, he's just wanting attention again. But they're all, like Wesley and Nyla are there. I've opened the back door this time so maybe he can get out for a little poodle. So it's something that he's after. Gosh. Have a look because I've got the next I've got the next one all set up ready to go. I think I'm just going to try and go with the one I've got, because otherwise I'm going to be like faffing about too much and then you're not going to get to see anything. So we'll just go with it. You've got time to have another look through and get some more bits. If that's all right. We're going to hear next door's puppy as well now. And I think I'll have to just put it so it comes off the edge a little bit there. I could do with something here as well. I do think that's a bit plain, that colour. It's just giving me the vibes of being a bit too plain, so maybe I need to get that right down there and squash that right on. So let's get a bit more glue under there again. Hi Julie, I'm just experimenting with vellum and card at the minute, just to see if I could make a little foldy back card. I'm just getting a bit annoyed with my vellum at the minute, because I didn't actually practice it beforehand. I just had this thought, oh, I'll do that. So I'm wanting to get a bit more glue under there. So excuse me while I poke some more glue in. Run it down under there and hope that I can get a bit more in where I want it, like that, and hope that we don't see it. There we go. We'll just hold that there for a little bit as well. Sorry I'm late, I was watching Kay. That's absolutely fine, Sarah. I know. I think you tagged me in it, but I couldn't join you because I was just coming on here. So Sarah's had a broken boiler and has got no hot water. Oh, how long is it going to take them to get it fixed? I hope you're going to manage to get them to come out shortly and not make you wait too long. I'm just holding this down to see if I can get Dawn's glue to hold for me. I should have stuck a bit more tape and glue on it beforehand, but you know to do that then if you come to have a go at this. I might as well make all the mistakes for you, and then you can have a go and not make the mistakes. But because I've used Dawn's glue as well, we'll see it a little bit, but I'm hoping that it'll be all right, because I'm going to stick things all over the top. There, like that. So we'll do that, and we can probably put something else there as well. Like smashing. Let's have a go. That one wants to go down as well a little bit more. Keep you a little bit in there. Just hold you down. I'm going to have so much glue on, I'm going to have to stick loads more things on. Yeah, I could do that, Julie. It's because I'm wanting to put the corners held nice and secure. I'm just wanting that bit to go down a bit flatter, so I could do with the brad going there where my hand is. And I didn't plan it beforehand, so I haven't done very well, have I? Not much planning going on today, everybody. Right, we can stick that there. I think that'll be all right now. Let's just go for it. Hopefully it'll go. I'll just hold my hand there for a little bit more. Love hearing the birds on your lives. Yeah, they're always twittering away. Just hold that a bit longer, and then we'll get some sticky things on the back of this bit of thing. I'll do that one-handed while I'm holding that bit, because I think if I put this up on, it'll look a bit better if it's up rather than stuck down. A bit of dimension. So I'm going to stick these on, and then we'll have a look and see where we need to add any extra thingamajiggamies, what do you call them, any bits to hide all the glue mess that I've made. So there we are. I've sat that in a puddle of water somewhere. Oh, I know what I've done. I sat it on a wet wipe, so the back of that's gone all soggy. I had a little wet wipe here that I was using earlier on when I got covered in gold. Right, we'll do that. Let's have a go. I'll stand up. Ow! Oh, excusing the noise. Let's go for that there and stick it on. Now I can see a little bit there, so I'm going to find something to put it there. That's it. That's held it in a bit better. It was just that I wanted that curve over there to hold and not be popping up all the time. But I think we've just about got away with it. You might need an extra bit of tape at that point on your underneath your vellum. So work out where you want it before you start sticking it down, because I had already stuck bits of it down before I realised I needed more. But I think we might get away with it. And let's have a look and see if we can maybe tuck something underneath there to get away with that little bit of that bit. Let me have this one here. So I'm just going to be cold now because the back door's wide open, but never mind, we'll be all right. So we had lots of lives yesterday. Was it yesterday? Where we had Dawn on Instagram, and she made an absolutely stunning project with a watering can in all the blues and loveliness. And then she liked it so much she wanted to make the wreath to go with it, so she popped back up again. So if you didn't get to see, have a look on catch up. And then we had Lorraine in the evening, and we've had Lorraine on Wednesday and Friday this week, so that's been a nice week. So unfortunately Sarah couldn't manage to get on this afternoon. I'll go there. It's probably a little bit too long that way, but I don't want to, I can't really go that way. And let's see if there's one where the sentiment's a bit further along. That one is. Let's go for that one. Then I might be able to cut it down a little bit. There we go. And then you're going to imagine it's on a card, because it was such a big one I haven't got a card ready. And I don't have any 8x8s. I'll measure it for you and I'll see. I've got some white card. I can hear the rain now outside, so that one can go under there a little bit more and stick in there, so that might be all right. Just watch, I don't want to spoil my little curl. Poke that under. I'm going to do that. Poke it under there, so it's just poking out under that. Does that hide enough of the glue? It's a little bit up in the air, isn't it? So it might just need a little bit more playtime, this project. Actually, that's almost stuck down now, isn't it? It just needs to be a bit more. There we go. Put another little bit under there. That's it. Such a bloomin' faff I am. Right, let me hold that again while I read the comments. Let's see, so Sarah's still freezing cold. Bless her. I hope they can get sorted. Yeah, maybe you could borrow, if you haven't got a microwave, maybe you could borrow a microwave and a kettle and a toaster, because you can get those plugged in, and at least you can manage, you could manage maybe some cup of soups and noodles and pastas and things that you can get instant ones in tubs. Now he's barking. Oh, goodness. Hang on a second, I'm going to whistle for the kids. I think Wesley's coming. Has he heard me? Can you come and get him in, please, because he's barking? Right, he's coming. Sorry, everybody, about the barking and the noise. He's causing trouble tonight, isn't he? He's a little menace. Yeah, I'm faffing away. Yeah, they should really give you something. I know Isla, when she was, her heating wasn't working when she was in one of her student rented houses, and they had to bring round heaters for them all, and make sure that they had what they needed. And that was just in rented. The council should know better. That's not on, is it? Right there, maybe we've got that now. Obviously, Dawn's Dawn's glue maybe takes a little bit longer than 10 seconds when it's on vellum. because the vellum's quite thick. There we go. So I'm going to stick this little one under there and hopefully hide the little bit of stuff that I've done there. No need to apologise, oh bless. I know. Hopefully he's not too much of a bother, but he starts the had if I leave him barking, I'll probably have one of the neighbours coming round to complain that he's barking and making a racket. I've had some bother with trying to get people to let us park, because I've got Isla's car here at the minute. Everybody else in the street's got about 3 or 4 cars, and I've just got Isla's extra car here at the minute, and they've been complaining about where she's parked, and she's such a little tiny car. Anyway, some people don't have anything to do but cause bother and complain. Right, we're going to stick that on there and hope for the best. Right, oh, he's got him in, but he's locked him in here with me, and he's not going to be happy. Right, off you go. Go on, you go and see Wesley. Right, I'm going to lock him out of my room because he's just very restless. He gets a bit of, I think he's probably got a bit of sundown in because he's getting a bit old, and he's just a little bit of a, just really unsettled on a night. Right guys, I'm just going to try to get that in there. I think there's a bit too much glue for me to not get all of it in. And that's sticking up a little bit more than I want it to, but I probably need a little bit of a shorter sentiment as well. But we're all right, we're just having a play, and it was just a bit of an experiment, so I probably need to sort of have a bit more time thinking about it. I could always put a flower there and put the... Wait a minute, I'm not going to start poking at it, but I might poke at it after the live. So there is a whole sheet of little flowers in this kit as well. So I could always go with some flowers to cover that bit up, and then the sentiment could just go somewhere else. So I'm going to leave it at that because I think I need to faff and fiddle. Something needs to happen with this bit. I'm not happy with that. I think I want some flowers along here, and I want to move the sentiment off there. Please bring your dogs on camera. Oh, I know. There's only Albie. Right, I'm going to take that off because I'm changing my mind. I'm going to start the next card and I'm going to have a think about that, and if I get any time to cut any flowers out, we'll finish it off. Is that all right, everybody? Please excuse me. I'm not very good at doing the finishing off, am I? I know you like to see them all done, but I might just actually cut a proper sentiment on, pop it over there in the corner, and then get some of these flowers. I'll have a look and see what I've got done. There's some nice, these ones as well. And I could get some of those because they would poke out like a little bunch. So we might do that, but I don't want to keep you just while I'm cutting things out, because I take a while, don't I? Let me have a look. I'll put a few ready and show you what I mean. I like the rolled vellum, thank you. I think I'm just very, I think I have got that problem of being a bit too much of a faff and a perfectionist, and I have to come, I like to come and go. So if I get that cut really close in, these would be nice, wouldn't they? Popped in behind. That's what I'll do. So rather than you all sit watching me cut these out at the minute, if I'm finish a bit early there, that's better. That's what we need, isn't it? Definitely. Oh, I know, I am very self-critical, I'm sorry. Look, I'm even saying sorry. I'm one of these people, I say sorry and people say, you don't need to say sorry. I don't know what's happened to me to make me like that. I think I set too high a standard for myself. That was always a problem with, and I would make myself stay at work for hours on end because I didn't want to let people down. So I don't think that helped me health any. But you do that, don't you, especially if you're in a caring profession. I think you just don't want to let your patients down, so you do not put yourself first. But I'm having to learn that that's okay. And some days I'm better than others. I think some days on the live I'm like, yeah, it's all fine, I don't mind. Let's just go with the flow. and then other days I'm a little bit more critical. So I'll get these cut out a bit better, but I think actually that will be perfect if we do a little bit of floral arrangements just coming around there, and then we could have a sentiment mounted up there. There we go. So this is the idea for this one. The main thing I had in my head was this little fold back vellum. I just thought it would, because it's quite a big scene, what could we do? And reveal it with a bit of vellum. And then this is part of the picture that we've actually covered up. It was a gate over here. So I thought if I use that bit, you're not really missing any of the picture. So if we get the chance to finish that off, if I sit cutting, if I'm not feeling too tired, we'll do that. And then that's a huge card. So we're going to have to mount that on something else. Where's my ruler gone? I've just got a bit upscuttled now, haven't I? So I've lost my ruler. Oh, it's up here. Found it. So I'll tell you how big the cards ended up being. It is just a bit bigger than 8 inches because of the matting and layering. So it's going to have to go on something big, or it could go on a box for a gift box, couldn't it, if I made a big enough box? Or on a album. If you were making a big album, you wouldn't have to put your special day really on there then, would you? So it's about 6 inches deep and about 8 inches wide, but maybe slightly bigger. So it's going to need a fairly hefty card. So I'll probably do that after I've got some 12 by 12 card, and I can make a card up for it, or just use some A4 and cut, 2 bits of A4 to get the card right. So that just wants a little bit of finishing off. But there we go. That's partly done. That's one done. Nearly done. Let's go and see if we can get the next one halfway done. Maybe I'll get the next one finished. That's what we did earlier on. If you were a little bit late to the live, that's what we had a little look at. And I also did a little 7 by 10 inch cards that Dawn has. Yeah, probably do. I didn't know she had them that big. But yes, I think I might need those to go with all these large things. While I'm finding my next card, I was showing off my porcelain painting that I did years ago. Have a little look at that while did that when the kids were very small. I had a little class at the library. Right, let me find my next card. And again, we are going to be working with the Highland cows. So there we go. Take them out the way. And we have this one. And we need a bit of purple again. We're going to have some purple. We need a card. And then I've got lots of other little bits that I'm thinking of using. So I'm going to put them there. And then I'll show you where I've got my topper from. So I've also got this one, which is the square toppers of the Highland cow. And we're going to just make an easel card, but a twisted easel, just to be a bit different, because I think I've done an easel card for you before. So I picked a topper from there. I'll show you shortly what we're going to do with it. And I've picked some, I've got that purple again that I found. And I've picked the purple daisies. And we're going to do some matting and layering with that. And then I've got a card blank. So this is the card blanks that are about 6 by 6. So they're just a bit, we found out from, I was watching on Facebook, everybody was saying the envelopes are 6 by 6, so the card blanks are slightly smaller. So then you just have to do your matting and layering according to that. So you can see I have a normal card blank and I've scored it, and I've gone from the top right to the bottom left, because what we're going to do then is bend that up, and that's going to create an easel for us that is twisted and wonky. So it's called a twisted easel, not a wonky easel, but we are going to make a wonky easel. I've then got another bit of white card, and I've cut that down slightly smaller, and that's going to go onto the front of there. So when we bring it up, that'll be what you see. So your little designs on there, you twist it up, and then we'll make a stopper here. So I'm sure you'll have actually done these before, but before I stick it all down, I'm going to do the matting and layering for the card front. what I decided was to get one of the little cows out of the squares, and I found, I've got them here, I have got it here. So there's a nice die from the fairies collection that I got. So I'm waiting for some of the Debbie Moore ones to come, but I found another frilly one that I had, which is a nice square. And I thought, oh, I'll use that as the focus for the shape. So I have cut out the frilly one there. And then I wanted the cow to be in the middle of that. So I just used it to line up over the top of the image. I used my die. And I found that some of the cows' horns were just in the wrong places. So that was mainly the way I selected it, was by which one was going to actually look right when I put my die over the top to see what would fit in it. And then I cut it down with there's more dies in there. I actually used the big one, the frilly one again, to cut it. And then you can see it's got like a little dotty line there. And I used that to cut it. So I've got a little bit of a sort of postcard edge, like a little bit of a bevelly edge. Can't think what to call it, but I just thought that was quite a nice effect. And then it's going to sit nicely on top of there. So I found a nice bit of, it's like a pale yellowy gold. Again, that'll be another one off Dawn. I'm just going to get my little dibber thing, because I've got a few bits from the die that haven't come out. So Dawn had these on a little while ago, so she might have some of them left. And these just help you to get your all your bits out with the little brush. If you haven't got one of those, it's handy when you've got these dies that are like intricate and they've got lots of little bits. That's it. So that's just got rid of all of those. There's one there. That's it. I don't think that bit wants to come out. Right, that's it. So there we go. So this is another simple card, because I'm not feeling like I need to be complicated today. That other one was my complicated one. Right, so then I got that one. I cut my little cow out, which I thought was lovely with a little frill round. And then I had a look at my different colours. I've got some paler lilac-y colour that I had from Dawn. Whoops. And I put that behind, and I just thought it was a bit too pale when I compared it to the darker one. So see if you can maybe go for the darker colour. I thought that was better. And I just thought that looked nice. And it picked it all up. So that's where I went with that. And then I got the background papers out from the cows, and I decided that these ones were going to be the ones I was going to put in the background. So I'm going to mat and layer that on there and pop that on. But actually, I think I also want to put that underneath. So that's what I'm going to do. So let me cut all the bits out that I need, and then we'll stick it all together, and it should look okay. And it's not a complicated one, but it'll look quite nice and effective. I'm not missing what's going on in the chat, but I hope everybody's all right, just looking after each other. Actually, we'll just do it by marking it, I think, because it'll be a bit easy for me. Poke my finger on there. That'll do. And then maybe there. There we go. That's it. We'll get that one on. And this one on. So, has everybody signed up for the new workshop? Because Dawn's got another workshop coming. I just think of, how do I go so wonky? When I start off with straight card, how does it actually happen that it then goes wonky? I'm going to chop that little bit off there and see if that straightens it up a bit. There we go. I know I just did it by my eye, but maybe that's why. I'm not very good at getting things the right way if I do if I don't measure it, so we have to just go with the flow, I think. And then just check that there, and then that'll be all right in there. Nice. I'll go for that. Oh, I'm making a mess on the card. Let's go for that first. There we go. And I'm not doing any gutting again. I'm going to be really upsetting Tracy Fielder. I think it is, isn't it, Tracy? Who doesn't like me not to gut. My brain is not in a sufficient state this evening to be able to do any. I'll tell you what, I haven't seen Jo Vesper. She on? I'm going there. Put her in. Is there anybody else that we're missing that we should be tagging? See if anybody wants to join in. We'll put an @ see who pops up. Oh, I think everybody else who I've got on is on here. We'll do Eileen as well, shall we? In case she wants to join in, she might not know that we're here. There you are. Yeah, I think you've to be quite careful, Julie, haven't you, when you're gutting, that you've actually got enough support underneath as well. So I think we'll go with that. And we'll just hope that, oh my goodness, it's just all absolutely as wonky can be. Really bad. Right, let's not worry about it. I haven't got to worry about it. Have I? No. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Just thought there might be a few people who are missing it, but mine will probably not be on much longer now. I don't know. I was on so long last week. I didn't realise at the time, because I felt so good, that I had gone on for so long that I then was absolutely exhausted for days on end. So I've got to be careful and remember that I can't do super long ones, much as I might feel like it. That looks all right. And then we'll do another one. I'm just going to do straightforward matting. If you want to go around with your inks anytime on the white, you could do that as well. Let's just have a look at that one. That's near enough. There we go. And then let's get the little fella here ready. So that one's going to go on there, but we'll stick this one on. I think I'm going to stick that down straight on like that, and then I'm going to do some matting up with the thing. Yeah, I won't go on so long. I think it's also with my knee not being so good at the minute. I shouldn't really be sitting without moving for too long as well. I don't know why it's just flared up. I haven't done anything really that should have flared it up, but there you go. That's it. And then I'm going to pop the little fella up on some pads. Just have a little look at here whether he needs a little bit of colour around the edge of him. Just on those little bobbles that I liked. You might see them a little bit better with a bit of colour on them. I've got a little bit left on my brush, so I might as well pop that on. He's lovely, isn't he? I like him. Could be a her or a he, I don't know. They all look the same, don't they? Unless you're looking at the undercarriage. Yeah, it's a lovely paper. So this is new to me today, the Highland Cow. I'd only had a few little bits of downloads before to have a little look at, but my pack arrived, so I thought, oh, I'll have a little go with it. And then the other one that's arrived is the Cocktail Couture collection has come properly, because I only had that as a few downloads before, and I even had the downloads that didn't make the cut. So I think, but anyway, I might do a bit of that next time as well. So let's pop the little fella in the middle. I can't really see because I'm not over the top. Let's hope he's in the right place. Yay! So I just think he looks a bit better if he's up a height. And then I'm going to pop that one in the middle of there. I'm going to put that one up a height as well. Hi Gilmore! Thank you for joining us. I'm just doing a little bit of Highland Cow. Nice little cards tonight. I'm not doing anything fancy too much. Feeling a bit tired. Sam just joined us as well. So we're just going for nice and making the most of these lovely papers and collections. They're so nice that they do all the talking for us. We'll just put those ones in the middle. There we go. Thank you, Gilmore. I have just matted and laid some of that lovely daisy background paper onto a piece of white card that is just a bit shorter than 6 by 6, a bit smaller than 6 by 6, about 5 3/4, no, 5 3/4, 5.5. And then I've got this one matted on a lovely little frilly edge that I've got, which is a Studio Light one. And I'm going to stand up again, probably. Sorry if I make a little noise, it's just my knee. I could just cry. Oh dear, dear, dear. And that's roughly in the middle. I'm coming down the top. There we go. How pretty. Right, now, before I'm going to stick it on my card, I'm going to have a little look at some of the embellishments in case I want to do any embellishments. I thought it might be nice if we wanted to stick any of the little, make this bit 3D as well. So should we just cut a few of these out and see what we think? Which ones? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, maybe do the bigger one, see if it looks all right. Let's see. And then if I'm doing chopping and cutting out, you can always have a little chat amongst yourselves for a bit. Now you can cut up to just the cutout that Dawn's put round. I think that's for those machines. They need a little edge to cut to. You can cut to that. Then you'd have the little white border. And if you didn't want the white border, you could then also colour it with your ink. Sorry if I'm coming off slightly. Just thought we might want to put that 3D, seeing as we had some of the embellishments on the card. Let me remember that I'm on screen, so I have to come up here so you can see what I'm doing. It's just not as easy when you're doing it from a distance. So I'm just trying to move my card and not my scissors. But I may. Oh, I probably should have got my little diddly ones out. I'm going to go there for the minute. Let's do these. That up there. I'll just go back to the little to these little snippy ones because I don't want to cut the I just don't want to cut that bit of string. It'd be nice if I had a bit of string, wouldn't it, as well? Ooh. Wonder if I've got any string. That'd be nice. If you don't mind me faffing for a little bit, you can have a little chat amongst yourselves while I'm snipping, if that's okay. You can tell I normally have all of these things done, but I wasn't quite so prepared as normal today. I'm quite proficient if I cut these bits off as well at sticking them back together accidentally. Nail technician has just got back from China where she saw pandas. Oh my gosh, how lucky. I'd love to go to China or Japan or Korea or any of those countries out in the Far East because I've not really been to any of those. Been to India, but I've not been to right far out. And I've never seen pandas in real life. I like those little videos where they're going down little slides and they're messing about, where they try to give them a little bit of entertainment in the zoos. I'm not really a zoo person. I prefer them not to be in a zoo. But they're quite funny, those little videos. And when they're falling all over themselves. I feel as if I've had these scissors. These are older than Isla and Imogen. So Isla's now, she's 24 now. And they're just starting to feel like they need a bit of an oil. I can just feel I'm not as good as they used to be. These are tonic ones. Maybe I need to get Fisker ones, because I did used to have Fisker ones. They're the ones everybody says is good. So I might need to get another pair of little snippies. But I think Dawn's got some little snippies coming in, hasn't she? No, I'm going to go. They're really, really stiff. I'm not happy. So I think I need some of Dawn's snippy snips when they come. She's got them in stock. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just do it roughly. Likewise, what we're also going to do is get the mat out. I'm just going to use a craft knife, see if I can do it with a craft knife. I'll do that bit. There we go. My craft knife, I also managed to take the tip off it. So I need to get a new tip. I've forgotten I did it on my glass mat. So I have now got my little mini mat to do my cutting with. Well, I don't think anybody really wants to be too bothered doing this. So, oh, there you go. Just chop them off. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll chop that bit off as well, and then we're matching. Matchy. Chop that bit off, because then we're matching. I'm going to end up with a breakage there as well, because it's so thin. But we'll work out what to do, because we might just be able to pop the individual things on instead of the whole bit. Do you know what I mean? There we go. Because I was wanting to go inside that middle bit there. Actually did want to cut that hole, but I'm not going to manage it. There you go. So what I might do, I'm going to get rid of that bit off the end. I don't like that. It's too big. Get rid of that bit off there. There we are. And we're going to go over the top. That's better. And we'll do that. And then we've got a little 3D. And if I had a bit of, if I could find my little bit of string. I've only got like a bit of pink string, so it's probably the wrong colour. A little bit of string. I could always use a little bit of string to do as well. So I'm going to just put a little few foam pads on the back of this, and we'll go with that rather than me faffing. I'm not destined for faffing today by any means, so we shall not do it. Right, I'll chop this in half. Probably do with some of my little mini squares rather than making them out of this. Using the big ones. Such a blooming faff today, aren't I? It's raining now. Can you hear the rain? The birds are still having a little twitter, but I can hear the rain now. There we go. Oh yeah, please don't do anything to yourself if you're using a cutting knife. Just don't use it. Don't do it. That's the best way. Dinky gingham bows. I don't, but dinky gingham bows sound lovely. That's what I need. I don't have dinky gingham bows. I do want some now, you've said. That would be lovely on the ends, wouldn't it? Little dinky wee gingham bows. I do need some gingham. So you'll have to imagine that. Tell me where I get my dinky gingham bows from, and I'll get some. Has Dawn got dinky gingham bows? Right, I'm going to stand up again and just try to get this on, because I wanted my little thing. I might go a little bit wibbly wobbly and go either side like that, so it's a bit off. So you can see the one behind offset. I think that's nice. And yes, that would be lovely there, little gingham bows. Let's just set that off a little bit, having the two together. I like that. Lovely. And I do agree with Julie that a couple of little bows would be lovely there. I don't have anything that I could use for it, so we're just going to have to imagine again that we have a dinky gingham bow. Do I need any more embellishments sticking in anywhere? What do you think, everybody? Let's pop it over here for the minute and we'll get the other card part ready. Where's it gone? I hope I haven't stuck it on the card. No, I haven't. It's all right. I might have to find another one. I've lost it. Oh, that's here. I've not lost it. So there we go. So we've got my plain card, and I have scored it from top right to bottom left and folded it up so we can do our little folded easel. And that's going to go with twisted easel. That's going to go on there. And then when we open it up, it'll sit nicely. So we need something on the inside because we're going to see that as well. So let us have a little look and see. We can maybe this time, should we have this one on the inside? Or am I going to be two? No, Rain and Whitby. Yeah, you're not far from me. Maybe it's on its way. Is that going to be too many florals? I don't want to use, I haven't got a full one of this, but I could always put it down the side. Could just do it as a little bit. Go that way. Wait a minute, everybody, while we're planning. Sorry, I'm not all planned out today like I normally am. Right, we might do that, but I don't have quite enough of that one because of the way I cut it. Should have thought about the cutting a bit more. I would have to do it like that with a wider blue purple border. Right, which colour do we want, people? What do you think? Should we have that purples? What's Gilmore not managing to do? Has Gilmore got things to post in group so we can see? That'll be lovely. Yeah, send them to one of the to Sam, and she'll be able to get them in for you. Sorry, I can't even think what I'm doing. What I would ideally like is the same size bit there, and I haven't got that, so I'm going to have to be clever now and just hope that. Let's have a little look and have a think. Let me just have a redo. I might go there and there. I might go there and there. There and there. Like that. And then there and there. Actually, if I do it like that, it's not so bad, is it? Let's just do it. I'm going to do the colours, the purple and the colours. And even if it's just slightly not quite the right size, we'll be fine. I'll make it the same as that one. So that purple back is 5 3/8 by the looks of it. Let's try that then. Five and 3/8. And just check what that is. Yeah, that's good. 5 and 1 2 3/8. Should sit there. 5 and 3/8. And hopefully if I do that again the same, it'll be the this square shape, it'll be right. There we go. 5 and 3. Near enough. Let's have a go with that one. And then I want to line my card up. So remember that it's that way around. I've got to always keep reminding myself because I get mixed up with where it's going to be. It's got a little bit of a fluffy edge, so I'm just going to sand it down. And I'll stick this down. There we go. Put the glue on, stick it on, get the edge about right, and that'll be fine. Now I'm going to put this one a bit wider, but I still want it down that end, similar to that. Yeah, I think we're going to get away with it, it'll be fine. We'll not worry about it. So you might need to just be a bit more careful with cutting your card than I was. I was just like, if I thought about it before the live, I might have managed to do it right. There we go. Unusual for me not to be all organised, isn't it? I'm going to go a bit like that. That's fine. I don't mind if it's not quite. What we're all going to hold our breath for. I'm missing things in the chat because I'm doing this. Don't like to miss things. Lovely colours. Oh, thank you very much. There we go. I hope I've got my flowers the right way around again this time. Then on there. That's it. And then I'm going to stick this on here. So I'm going to put me glue on this bit. Remembering that it's not going right to the edge because I have put a little border on. So I'm not going to stick it right to the edge. And just before you do it, make sure you know that you've got it set up for opening up right. So you're opening it the right way. So it looks that way. Oh, sorry, Isla, I didn't know. My daughter's just realised it's raining and all her clothes are out on the washing line. She's saying I was supposed to tell her. Oops. I didn't realise. She was upstairs, so I don't know whether she didn't hear the rain. Never mind. They'll sharp dry again. Oh, there we go. So we've managed to do all right with that. Lovely. So now we need to just make a little stopper here. And that can be our sentiment. To make the stopper. So let's have a little look for a sentiment. I think I cut these out. These were part of the card I made at the beginning. I had these little bits, didn't I? So I might be able to just do that and have a little happy birthday or a little circle with love. Quite like the little circle with love, but I'm not the best at cutting out straight circles. Let's have a look. We might do both of them and see what we think. Seeing as I have been cutting things out, I'll just go for it. If you've got a die cutting machine. Now the only thing I have realised is that that little bit of pale yellow goldy colour was just a random piece that I used, and I don't think I've got any more left. So ideally we would like the same colour for our matting and layering. But again, yeah, you end up with an upside down cow. So you've just got to remember, I did it as a practice myself. I had a little bit of tatty paper here and I was trying to, and I did it wrong because you can see I've been pulling at it and making sure that I knew which way my picture had to be. But it ended up, it did work in the finish because I was trying to remember. I didn't want to do it wrong on the live and I thought, oh, it'd be typical, I'll fold it the wrong way. So just like keep checking that you've got your thing folded the right way before you do all your sticking down, and then your cow's going to point the right direction. and then you can just choose some nice little sentiments and bits of flowers and whatnot to go with it. And I think Dawn's got all these lovely gold glittery things. I probably need a bit of shiny off her. I've got some gold, I think, coming, or might even be in the bottom of the box because I haven't looked properly. Have to go now, Jackie. Oh, thank you very much for joining us. No problem. We're just having a little live. I won't be on much longer, but yes, you can watch, and I'll put them on the page for you to see after. And then we can, that's the nearest I've got, so I'm just going to use that one. So it would have been better to have them both in the same, but of course I have not done that today. But no worries. But thank you for joining us, Jackie, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Dawn is on tomorrow night again. Hopefully she's having a nice evening with Frank tonight, enjoying a little bit of time together rather than working. I'm just going to do both of them because I don't know which one I want. Stick them all down with love. There we go. I'm getting there. Just trying to move my glue so you can still see the cows. There we go. Oh, I bet our washing was just about dry as well. No, it did not be dry. Oh, it's wet, she says. Oops-a-daisy, Isla. Never mind. Put it in the dryer for 5 minutes and that'll warm the kitchen and the house up a bit anyway. They're delicates, they don't go in the dryer. Okay. Never mind. Albie has followed it out, so he'll be now coming in all soggy. There you go. The birds are still going. I think sometimes I start sentences and don't finish them because I'm sure I was talking about living near Whitby a little minute ago and then I got distracted. And the weather being different from 20 minutes down the road, up the road even. So I'm at the bottom of the hill on the edge of the North Yorkshire Moors, and at the top of the hill, just a little bit further along, is Whitby. And I'm not very good at cutting circles out. I have got to come a bit nearer me, so I'm sorry if that's coming off the screen a bit. I've got a shadow, but we'll just go with it today. And got a little bit of purple here as well. That was a bit more purple. I'm going to mount it on there as well. That's it. But thank you everybody else for joining me tonight, and thank you to anybody watching on catch up. I do appreciate it very much. I do. I enjoy doing my lives. Been having a lovely time. So, and as long as I'm enjoying it, I shall keep doing them. And hopefully you'll keep joining me. But if you do have any requests, please let me know in the comments if there's anything you want to see in particular. I might look at maybe doing it. I was gonna actually, I know Dawn did the mini book on her live the other day, didn't she, on the workshop? And the measurements for some, I know some people like measurements, and the measurements, I think Dawn was doing a lot by eye. So I thought maybe I'll go and just go over that, how to do the concertina book with your piece of A4 paper and put it. And also I use mount board or cardboard to make little mini books, so I wanted to do that for you as well. And the other idea was to maybe make some boxes and bottle bags or bottle boxes and things, which I also was, my aim is to try and use an A4 as well for that, rather than so it may be a few pieces of A4, just because you know, if you don't have any 12 by 12s, but if I can't, I'll do it with 12 by 12. So this is nice. That's a nice big one. That'll definitely work as a stopper. Let's just get that up and have a little look. And you can put that on an angle like that if you want. Or you can have it like that. Right, you need to vote for me. Would you like that one? Hang on a minute, I'll quickly get this one. You can see which one you want. Oh my gosh. Just pretend I've done this with a die and it's circular. Maybe we'll go with a happy birthday because that's cut out better. Look at the state of that. Right. Oh, we're having a wonky circle. Actually, that looks quite nice. Even if it's wonky. Let me put that there for you for the minute. On the screen, it does not look as wonky as it does in real life, so we might get away with that. Or would you like a happy birthday, which I think probably is so big that pushes the picture open a bit more. There you go. I think I might go for it sideways on so that when you do open the card, it's still the right way. But you can do that. Yeah. What you're best off doing is finding your little dies if you can. The other thing I've got this little tool, which I should have used. I got that off my sister-in-law, and it's a bit like a protractor like we used to have in the way it works. So it's got a cutting edge and a pokey edge, but you have to then poke it in the middle. So you end up with a little hole in the middle of your card, but you can set the circumference or set the radius of your circle in centimetres, and then you can get your bit of card and go round. So if I want my circle to be that size, and I always forget which way the blade works, but it does do a circle. So there will be, so instead of it having a pencil on the end like your little compass from school, it has a blade on the end. Don't know where she got it from, but she wasn't using it, so I acquired it. So there you go. And it's nail. I mean, it's quite a thick card, but I could easily get that cut if I just keep going. But you get the little hole in the middle, so it'll be all right for matting. I could stick them on top, but I don't know where that little device came from. But that's dinky. Don't know if anybody else has got one of them. I keep forgetting I've got it. There we go. So yes, I like the circle as well, Julie. Oh, Gillian's got one. So I've never seen them before. My sister-in-law just found it in a crafty bits, and she wasn't using it, and I said, oh, I'll have a go. Or we could draw around the correct shape with a correct, you know, like a little circular top that fit. Get your dies out. But anyway, I'm just going to go around it, and I'm not going to worry too much. There you go. I don't think from the screen you can see it too much anyway, so there we go. So I'm going to stick that one on there, and I'm going to pop that on with a foam pad again. I pop the foam pad in the middle like that. You can maybe actually, I'll just put a little bit of a smaller one on there. And I took some more things underneath again. Oh, Eurovision has been an improvement until the UK song. Oh dear. Hi Julie, thank you for joining us. We're just making a little twisted easel. Can't see whether that's straight or not, anybody, but there you go. That'll do. And I think that looks all right. We might get some more flourishes of florals. So both of the cards I could do with a little few extra flourishes on. Let's see what this one's got with it. I'll cut some more lavenders out. It's a nice one. They might as well have a go. So I'm using the Highland Cow kit. I've got toppers, I've got background papers. I've probably got whatever it is that you get for all of the Highland Cow. They're all now just in a little pile near me. So I'm going to do this roughly, and then we'll cheat with a bit of purple ink. So otherwise we'll be here for hours if I try and fussy cut right into these little corners. There we go. That's it. Hopefully next month got to sort a date out that doesn't interrupt Mum and Dad's. Oh, is that for you to go down and visit Dawn, Sam? That would be lovely. We miss you. Would like to see you on a live again for a little bit. It's nice to see you live. But I know you've got to put your family first, really, haven't you? Absolutely. So it's actually coming up half term shortly, but I should still be able to do lives then. Don't know if Wesley will have me. Sometimes he likes to go to the cinema when he's on his holidays. So that would be the only thing, if there's anything he's doing. I'll just fit in with everybody else though, and hopefully still get on for a little bit. So these are proper little fiddly bits, aren't they? This is what I didn't do with the last card. I just gave up, but we'll have a little look. So I do need to ask Dawn if she can show us some of her card blanks again, maybe those 7 by 10, I think Joanne said there was, and that will be good for the big sizes to save me having to construct my own. I can also hear my son's telly now, so I hope that's not bothering you. They've left the door open now so Albie can come in. Albie's munching on his dinner. I forgot to pick it up, so he's got some little bits. There we go. So I'm just going to maybe put some more little bits of foliage coming out of there. I think that would look nice. And instead of cutting all those little bits out, I'm just going to put a bit of ink in the background in the purple that I've got, and I think it'll be fine. Just look as if it's a little bit more, just gets rid of the white. You go on the other side as well if you want to just make sure there's no white edges showing. There we go. So I think that'll just be the way to go. That's what you do with your what you did with your peacock feathers. Just cut up as close as you can. And I know that's a little bit more pinky purple than the purple, but I think that's going to look nice. Like the German song. Oh, I'll have to have a little look. I don't think my daughter's gone to anything tonight to watch it. She's in Germany at the minute, but I don't think she's gone out for it. I think she would have been on the phone if she'd been, if I wasn't on a live. She's just come back from her. The granddaughters went with Gran on holiday, and they've just all come. She's just gone back to Germany, and I think she was just enjoying seeing everybody and being with them. So I think we'll do a little bit more again like we did before. I'll cut some more bits of flowers out. I'll do a little bit more going around there, maybe find some leaves. I'll see if I've got any of Dawn's that want to be involved in the show, putting some flowers on, but hopefully you get the idea. So I've got a little bit more fussy cutting out to do, but I don't want to do that all on the live for now. But I think that's what I will do, put a little bit more florals in, see what looks nice. And there's the little card. And I don't know if anybody thinks I need anything else on there, or just some little gems maybe. Would anybody like anything else adding? Give me your advice. I'm much appreciated. And then the other card I did was folding back the vellum. Now I think if I'd had a slightly floral vellum, that would have been lovely because there's a lot of florals in this, but I didn't, so I coloured the vellum with my ink to get that little bit of colour to match it. And then we've cut out some florals here, which I haven't cut out properly, but I will do those, and then I'm going to put these all in there when I've cut them out, and then probably get a little bit of a sentiment on somewhere as well. And I do think that edge, this white edge here, needs some gold on. So if I can find a gold strip, I'll put a gold strip down, or I will very, very carefully cut out something in gold to go down there as well. And then that can mount onto a card, because I didn't have a card the right size. But that was the idea with those lovely backgrounds. So I don't know if that's all right for you today. I know it's a bit shorter than normally is, but hopefully I'll get those finished at this time. We also did finish this little tag off, which I started last time, which was just some of the inks in the background and the Couture Collection Tequila Sunrise in vellum, and then some of the background some of the elements off the card there. I hope you're feeling better soon. Somebody's got a sore throat. Sam's got a sore throat. Oh, hope you feel better. I like a nice lolly, Sarah. That's what I would be doing. A nice lolly would do the trick. Now, these are all gorgeous. I'm sure you've seen them all. If you haven't got the Highland Cow collection, I think you probably need to go and have a look at it on the website and see it. Loads of sentiments, loads of lovely banners. I can do some more flower cutting out and pop some of these on. Maybe get some of those daisies out. Lovely. So I'll do a little bit more with those. More little tags. Lovely, lovely toppers. So you're just absolutely spoilt for choice. I just think it's beautiful. Some circle ones. Some more little watering cans. And if you didn't see Dawn's live with the watering can and the flowers, you need to go and watch it because it's absolutely stunning. Watch, I don't show you that because that's the forever code. These are mixed up packets, so you'll have to go and have a little look and see. I actually think this would be lovely as a book, wouldn't it? Like the Dawn's little concertina one. That would be stunning using those. And then there's also the larger ones. And then these background papers, there's some stunning ones in there. I think I've mixed up all my little collections here, but if you haven't already got them, I think you might need to go and have a look and see what you get. So that's a similar one to the one I started with today, which was the tractor one that I chose. So go and have a little look there, see what you can find. So let me have a little look at the time. 9:30. I'll tell you what I might do. I might start something and then we can finish it off as a project next time, because I think I can probably manage to do that. So what I'm going to do is get my mount board. So I'm going to start a little outside of this book that I'm going to make. So I will make a bigger one, I think. I'm going to go for like a 5x7. I'm just guessing the size. You can choose any size you want, but this is just going to be the principles of it. And then we can carry on making it as we go. So I've got some mount board, or you can get grey board. Mine's white. You could also, if you want to, cut out cardboard pieces and use those. Or you just want a decent strength, sort of thick, like 300 GSM card would be good as well. You could use that. I'm going to see if I can use the mount board, see if it'll cut on here. And I'm going to choose a roughly 5x7 for my book size that I'm going to have. So I think that should fit. 5 plus 5 is 10 plus 1. I'm going to go for a bit less than that because I'm trying to make it fit my A4 paper. Let's go for 4. I'll have a little bit thinner. 4.5. Go for 4.5. This is quite thick, so I don't know whether it's going to cut with my... Oh, marvellous. That's the 4, and then if I've done it as a 4.5, I think I'll go for maybe a 6 depth. That should be a decent size little book. So I'm going to get one of those, and that has not cut. Hang on a second. So you either get your mount board. I think when I looked on the website, Dawn had mount board, but you can just use a decent quality card, as I've said. So then I'm going to do the same again. I want a 4.5. So basically you just choose the size of your book. So if you want it to be an ATC size book, your little covers are going to be a bit bigger than an ATC. So an ATC width is 2.5. There. And the depth is 3.5. So I would probably want to have about a 2.5. Stick another inch on. So do a 3.5 inch wide, and then add another inch on going down, so 4.5 down. But I'm just showing you the principle. It doesn't matter, you can have any size front cover that you like. And let's just get a front cover and a back cover. I'm going to make a spine. So my spine needs to be the same height as that, which is the 6. So whatever height you've chosen, get your height that you want. And then I usually do an inch wide for my spine. That again, you can choose how deep a book you're going to want it, how much you're going to put in it. So I usually find about an inch or an inch and a half is reasonable. So I'm going to just go with an inch today and show you what to do. There. So we've got our 3 pieces. They're all going to be the same height. Your width is going to be what you would like them to be for your book front and side to be. And you're going to have a spine for the middle. Now when you're putting them on the paper, I don't know if anybody's done this, I'm assuming that you haven't, so that's why I'm talking as if you haven't, but I know some of you will have done. I've done this size, hopefully it'll fit an A4 piece of paper. And I'm going to use paper, but you could use a piece of material. So that what I was thinking was those Stamperia pieces of material that Dawn had. Some of you might have those. You need to get them ironed and then they could be your backing. I don't want it to be too thick what I'm putting round, so I don't want really thick card because I want to be able to actually bend it and score it round. Other thing I like that you need to do is try to have your angles right. So we want to have 90-degree angles. So when you're putting it on your paper, you want to be able to use your ruler a bit to make sure you're going straight. And then we want the same space here down the sides as well. So I'm going to show you my tools that I use, but if you haven't got a tool, then you could cut another strip off your board that you had. Let me just cut one for you and show you what I mean. Just probably it there. So get yourself a strip, and that's going to be your spacer, so that when you put it on the card you're going to have a spacer, and then that'll come out and you put your spacer there again and do that. So I'm going to show you what I mean, but if you don't have the tools I have, you can use a piece of card and your ruler to go straight. Let's choose a piece of paper. So I'm going to have a little look in my file, which I've made from Dawn's bits and pieces I've been printing out. And make sure your forever codes are not in view. Let me just have a little look and see what backgrounds I've got anywhere that we could use. I'm just going to use a bit of paper that I've got a nice background of. There's some backgrounds here that are the dragons. I know I've got plenty of dragons going on the page, so let's have a look and see. This is not too thick a paper. It's a little bit thicker than normal paper. This one is not going to be any good because my book shape, I want it to be that way round. So I don't think that's, well, you could have it that way if you wanted. I just think that piece of paper looks better that way round. So I'll put that one to the side. Let's have a little look. Those ones are a bit thin. I might just go for this this first one at the front here that I've got with all the flowers. I know that's quite busy, but it's just for you to get the idea of what to do. Okay. Oops, sorry everybody, just bashing my head on there. Right, now the only thing I need to do with this is make sure that the white isn't going to be showing. So I'm just going to quickly get rid of that. So this is step one. If you want to do this, and then you can come back, we'll do another step next week. And you might actually have it ready to go. If you've not done it before, that would be a nice thing to do. Spacer, Star Chaser, that's an old song. I can hear it in my head. I think that was one of the first. There was an LP, Disco Fever. I remember getting that when I was little. I think that was on there. Right, so I'm going to use this paper. So I'm going to turn it over. Don't worry that it's white, because we're going to be able to use it. So the main thing I like to have room for is about 1 inch around, if I can. But I'm not sure we're going to have quite enough on this. Might be a bit tight around the edge on this side, but we're going to manage it. So maybe a little bit wider, because this has not been because this is not from Dawn, it's not edge to edge, it's just off my printer. Just is easier if you're learning to do this, to give yourself that inch all the way around if you can. So if you've not done it before, maybe get one of your 12 by 12s out, and then you'll have more room, or do a slightly smaller card space shape than I've done. So I've done a bit wider, but that's all right. I'm going to trim these down because it will just give me a little bit more room if I do go to 4. There, do that. That's that one. Just make them a little bit, and then you can see it's easier when I'm showing you how to pull it round. I did it to 4 and a 8, I think. Is that right? 4 and an 8. Whoops, hang on a minute. Don't let it move. Better on my guillotine than trying to, like, I'm really stressing my my thing out. Right, so if you're going to use your little spacer you've made, you're going to stick one down. Let's get the spacer in, put that one there. You're going to have another spacer there. So round about there. If you've got one of these tools, where is it? This is it. So just got this off the internet. So this is a little ruler, like a T-shape, little mini ruler, and it gives me that little space, and it gives me my 90-degree angle. So I can pop that there, line it up, and then when I stick it in, that's going to butt up against there, that's going to butt up against there, and that's going to give me my perfect 90 degrees. So these are really handy, but if you haven't got it, you need a ruler along the top to keep your straight line, and you need your little spacer that you make out of another bit of card. So let's stick this one down. I'm just going to use Dawn's glue. Should be fine. If everybody's already done this, I'm apologising, but there might be people who watch back or who are watching who haven't done these before with the card. So I'm going to put that there because I know that's going to give me enough room to fold it. Should be able to put that there, and I should have enough room there. So I'm going to let that one stick. A good burnish in a minute. Put that one in the corner, or get your little ruler. Put this down. And then it's going to butt up against the top one and along the side and stick on. And then I'm going to get my space in nicely. And these little book tools are available online. They're not very expensive when I got mine. If you decide you're going to make more than just one or two, then if you're not going to make them very often, then just make your little bits and pieces to help you to get your lining up right, because you can do that. Just shove a load of glue on. Oh, I'm pleased somebody hasn't done it before, so that's good. It's always nice to know that you haven't done it, so at least I'm not just talking to people who know what they're doing all the time. But if anybody has done it and I'm doing anything wrong, then they can always chip up and say. So there we go. So I've hopefully got them nicely spaced. I've made a spine. I've got my front and my back nicely on. Use plenty of glue. If you want to use any extra tape or anything, you can. I find the glue's probably fine. But I just find if the paper's not too heavy that I'm putting it on, I should be able to then do my sort of bending round. Right, the other thing that they have in the little kit that I've got is a little corner tool, which you don't have to have again. That'll just, where's it gone? It's not that one, is it? Oh, I lost my little one. I'll put it over there anyway. Yes, it is that one. There. So if you want to, then I hope you can see this edge, because I think I'm right on the edge of the screen. But that's my lovely 90-degree corner, and then I'm just going to go across there and cut it. So let me just get a pen. You can see where we're going to cut. So you're going to cut over there. I'm going to cut that corner as well. I'm going to put that one on there. If you don't have one of these, then just cut across the corner. This leaves a little bit for you to fold in. So you can cut straight across, but the reason they do this little bit where you can see it's given it a little bit extra is for folding in, so that it's supposed to make it a bit neater than if you cut right up. So there we go. Cut that off. Cut that off. You can burnish these down onto the paper and leave it, make sure it's well stuck. Use a bit more glue, and I was just doing it quickly, so you can see I'm not stuck down there properly on the corner. So go right up to the corners. I'm just rushing a little bit, but it'll be all right. There we go. So now we've got these little corners. Now what we want to do is score, really, or not score, but get them over. So that's going to be the book, front and back, which we can then decorate and do what we want to. It's a nice paper, isn't it? But we need to get these sort of bending and scoring. Now what I sometimes do with these bits is reinforce that with a bit of tape as well. And I think I might put that on now, because I'm going to fold over. Where's that tape? Washi tape. I had some washi tape that I kept out for this purpose. That was pretty washi tape. There it is, right in front of me. Right, I have some washi tape. It just helps a little bit. I think I worry about the folding, but it'll just not be quite strong enough. So I don't know whether you have to do this if you do any proper sort of these kind of businesses. If there's other people who do this, but I've been finding sometimes I'm just a bit worried about this bend. So I'll get a little bit of tape I'll pop it on now because then I'm going to cover it over, so it doesn't really matter which tape I'm using. And I'm just giving that a little bit of extra help for oh, that was a little long-legged creature that's just flown over. Did you see it on the screen, or was it just me? There we go. So give it a little bend. Just help it along a little bit with the tape to hold it in place. There we go. Do, and then I'm just going to give it a little bend again over there. Finish that down. Finish that down. Right, now we're going to do the edges. All right. Oh, bookbinding tools. Yes, sorry. These have come from a company beginning with C, beginning with the word craft. That's where I got them from, but I think they're all on the internet pages, aren't they? So I really want to get that to come in like that. I'm just going to go around the edges. There we go. And pop this one in on the edges. Should be all right. I'm trying to get a decent burnish on it so that it will fold nicely. Okay. I'm going to do the same on this bit. I'm not very good at this bit that is trying to get the corners in, but we'll try and do that when we pull it in together. Probably need a bit more practice on that bit. It's supposed to help you get your corners in neatly. That's it. Right, now I'm going to stick these edges in and those edges in. I'll go with the long ones first. And this is just the paper from the from Dawn's dragon collection. And that's what I've used because I had some printed out already on a decent weight. So I thought we'd use that. Right, I'm going to get my glue, and I like to go right up close to this edge, going along there, because that needs to stick nicely, and then to my edges around here. There we go. And then I'm going to bring it towards me like that to get it bent over, and then I'm going to go like that. So I was doing that, and it goes really nice and close up, hopefully to that edge when you're bringing it towards you like that. Lovely. So I've got a really nice edge. Get that burnish down as well. All right, that's that one. And then I'm going to go this way again. I'm going to go right up close here to this bit, because that's going to be coming towards me. I want to make sure that bit's stuck on the side. Get right up to the edge there. Right, there we go. And then watch again. So I'm pulling it, I've got it facing me this way, I'm pulling it over, so it's on its end, and it's going to go onto there, and it's sticking right down. So that edge has gone right up against the card. That makes sense? Yeah, you can use bookbinding glue, which you can get from different places, but I've only got normal glue from Dawn, so that's all I use. And it seems to be all right. Now, I'm not very good at these corners, so please bear with me. I'm sure there'll be somebody who's super duper dupe. I think I just got mine from the river, the big river, but they do have the one I got these from. They have their own website beginning with the word craft, and I have ordered from them directly for other items before. You could always message Dawn and say, Dawn, can you book these little things? Or if you don't want, if you're not going to be making many, just going to do that as well. Can you see my edge of my tool to get into those little channels? It just helps because I've now folded that paper over. I need it to get in the channels for folding. If you're not going to do too many, you just need to make your own little spacer. Because a spacer will go there, spacer will go there. And then if you just have your ruler to butt up against, or even the edge of it, you could maybe use your scoreboard, because that has a sticky uppy edge, doesn't it? So you could always butt up against the edge of the scoreboard to get your paper straight and get your bits on. Maybe that, I don't know, it's just a thought. No, you won't, because that would be in the way, wouldn't it? So the ruler might be the best method. But I'm sure there's plenty of these little bookbinding things around. Right, I'm just going to go for this end. I am using Dawn's glue. I'm not very good at this bit. I'm going to go like that on the corner, because I kind of want that to fold in. So I'm not an expert at this either. They've just been picking it up as I go along. So anybody who's really good at it might want to watch some videos online. But I'm just giving them that little bit like a tuck. So hopefully it'll tuck in a bit neater. Get right up against there again. Get my glue in. Dawn's glue is fine. And I'm going to go like that. And go like that. And then I really want to try and get that end in there. This one's not quite going in. Just going to use my fingers and then burnish that in. And hopefully I've got my corner in neatly. That's it. There we go. So we've got that in. Is that all right? Oh, the bookbinding glue. Oh yeah, no, I've not used any bookbinding glue ever. I've just used like whatever glue I've had, which is at the minute is Dawn's, or something similar to that. If you know, when I didn't have Dawn's glue, I haven't used bookbinding glue. But I'm not making any really like fancy things, I don't think. So I don't know. Probably if you're doing it properly. Maybe if you're selling, I don't know. I don't make anything to sell, so I don't know whether it needs to be any different. I'm going to go in that corner a little bit. Get it in. And that corner's a bit more pointy, but we're all right. It's a bit wonky donkey. You in there. That's it. You in there. That's it. There we go. So we should be all right there, and we've made a little folder. So this can be any size you want. So if you were wanting a really big size, obviously you're just going to do, as long as your height is the same and your width is the same for your front and back, and then you can do your spine to whatever size you think it is that you're going to need for putting your signatures in. But that's fairly straightforward so far. What we will be doing is backing onto here some colour, and I might want to be sticking bits of ribbon in for the tie, so we'll do that, but I'm not going to do it all today. I'm going to leave it at that. That's our first stage, which I just wanted to show you. Oh yeah, fabric, yeah, maybe. I'll try fabric actually and see what Dawn's glue's like, or if I need any fabric glue or bookbinding glue, because I think fabric would be nice. But Dawn's glue sticks pretty much most things, so it probably does work on the fabric. But yeah, I'll have a go for you, unless you're going to have a go, and then you can let us know. Let me just show you my little book. So my old book is just getting a bit tatty at the minute because it's been sat out in the... I just did this one as a quick one. It's been sort of sitting in the sun a bit, so it's a bit faded. This is some paper I had before, and then there was just some little bits of... all I did for this, you can see I haven't even worried about my sort of lining of it. I've just like shoved stuff in. But what we're going to do is we'll put it a bit tidier than this, because this is just like a little scrappy book for me to fiddle around in. And all I've done with this, so the way I've done this one, if I show you, if you don't want to do any proper binding and you want to be able to take all your bits and paper out, you just use elastic. So you get some pieces of elastic from your haberdashery, and all I've done there is tied round pieces of elastic on here, put them round and tied them in a bow. And the reason I've done this, because this is my little scrappy one, is so that I can put just any old bits of paper in. So say this is a little signature. We call these little bits where you fold them together signatures. Now you can, we can sew them like Lorraine showed you, and then I'll show you how you would then go about sewing them into the book. You need to poke your holes in the spine. But I'll just have these where it's a bit of background, and I've stamped a couple of things on there, folded it over. That's another bit of background, folded it over. So I've used all my little scrappy bits, and then if I feel like trying to stamp out, I can just pull these out and have a play with them, and then stick them back in on the elastic. So that's quite a good way if you just want a little quick junky journal thing. This one I was trying out some gold stuff, and then I've just got little bits more paper in here, some of those stickers from Prima, trying out some new pencils and playing with them, doing another little bit of a stamp and a bit of messing. So that was just some mindless or mindful doodling. So I think that's one of the easier ways for you just to put things in if you're just having it as a little scrap journal. But I'll come back next time. Thanks Denise for joining us. Yep, see you later. That on another one. Thanks for joining us, and I'm just about finished. Again, that's just like my scrappy bits. So if you want to make your signatures just out of little bits of scrap, and then you can put them in and take them in and out as you wish. But what we'll do is actually make a proper book, seeing as I've done it now. And because we have done it, then there's my little blue one. So I've got another bit of elastic that I just tie around there, but I've lost that. But what we'll do is we'll do it like the one I sent Dawn. I'll give you some choices next time, because we can do with them again. We'll do a little mini dragon one, and we'll line it. We'll put a bit of ribbon on. And we'll work out how we're going to actually fit it in, because you can do little concertinas, or you can do binding. So I think we'll just have to start with one and then move on. The easiest one, I think, is the concertina, which is what I did when I sent one off to Dawn. So we might start with that. But that's the start. Have a little watch back and see if you want to make that. Have a go, and then you've got one ready, and we'll see what we're going to do with it next time. All right, so just wanted to start on that whatever size you do, that's the principle of what you do for making your little journal book with a bit of mount board. And we're going to finish these ones off, come back to them later. I'll finish them off for you, and that's all the little projects that we've done today. So thank you very much for joining me on the live. And I think that's probably long enough for tonight, because I was going to try and finish sooner, and it's still 10 o'clock, so it's sooner than last time. Anyway, nice time for a cup of tea now. Thank you everybody for joining me. Had a really nice time. I love this little Highland cow collection. I think it's gorgeous, and it'd be nice to do something with the book and show you how to do that. And then thinking about how to use your vellum in your cards as well. So hopefully that's given you a few ideas. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you Debbie, thank you Julie, thank you Karen, thank you Sam, thank you Tracy, thanks Jane, thanks Gillian, thanks Sarah. Anybody else? I hope I haven't missed anybody. But anybody who's quietly watching, thank you very much as well. And anybody who's watching on catch up, thanks Joanne and Karen. Thank you very much. I would like some of these little bows that Julie Rankin mentioned. So I need some little mini gingham bows, please. Where do I get those from? I need really tiny ribbon, don't I? I might go to Boys and have a little look, see if we've got any, because it's tiny, tiny ribbon. Oh, there's Julie as well. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. And I'll say good night. Take care. And hopefully see you on Dawn's Live tomorrow night at 7 is normally on a Sunday, isn't it? So a bit early on a Sunday. So see you then. Bye, everyone. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Press the button. Oh, there's Alison as well. Thank you, Alison. If I've missed your name, please forgive me and thank you very much. Bye.